What's up, YouTube? For today's video, we are going to do a review on the Bitzenburger Fletching Jig. Alright, so for those of you who have already subscribed, I thank you. We're about ready to get the 100 subscriber mark. That'll be pretty cool. Yep, so as I mentioned, we're going to cover the Bitzenburger Fletching Jig. This is widely known as one of the best that there is. It's probably the one that you'll see in most archery shops. The reason why I prefer this jig is because it is all solid metal. When you hold it, I mean, it weighs a good amount. You know, it's all metal. So compared to like other ones, you could just take this thing, and it's because what's inevitably going to happen is your clamp and your jig's going to get all covered with glue from you know, gluing on vanes. What this one, you can just take this and you can cover it in acetone or whatever, some, you know, fingernail polish remover, and get all the glue off and not worry about damaging it because it's not made of any kind of plastic. So the other nice thing about it being so, you know, dense and metal is it stays on a table real nice and solid. You can get a really nice clamp on there. I've just found it to be the best in the business. You know, you're going to be able to pass this one on to your grandchildren someday because it's just not going to go anywhere. It's solid metal. As you can see, what it is two parts. You got the jig itself, and then you got clamps. Okay, you can get different kind of clamps. This is a helical clamp, so this one's going to put that twist on the vane, which I like to use especially for my broadheads. So now I've told you, you know, what it is, why I like it. Here's kind of how it works. First off, there are these dials that might confuse some people. There's really nothing to them. There's a set screw, and then you twist the dial a little bit, and that basically just changes how offset the clamp is going to sit on there. Okay? So you're going to be able to adjust the severity of the offset that you put on your arrows. It's cool. It just adds more customization. You know, you can get it really harsh with this jig. And it does a good job of that. So, and you can do that with the straight or the helical jig. It'll work, you know, you just work it different ways, but it's the same idea. It works with both. And that's basically up to you. You know, you'll read specific degrees, but I gotta be honest, guys, there's not much to it. It's more or less just trial and error. You figure out what works good on your arrows, and you go with that. Then you can read about all the different philosophies that different guys have on why you would go with a straight one versus a helical one, etc. So those are the knobs. Those are the two pieces. I'm going to kind of show you. Basically, all you're going to do is put your arrow right in there, inside that groove, and inside here, there is you would be able to see if you're holding it that there's a little notch for your nock to go in. And you want to obviously clip your nock inside of that notch. You know, see it right on in there. And then up here there's the hook. That's obviously where your arrow shaft is going to go. So you got your nock hooked into that hook. Your shaft is in this little groove, and that's an arrow that would be ready to get fletched up. Down here there's this little knob. You always want to be consistent with where you start that. Okay, so all your arrows come out kind of the same. So I always start it with the flat side up. So there's going to be a round wheel with sort of a knurled edge so you can grip it better. And there's one flat side. So always start with that up. It's an easy way to remember. Alright. So once you have your shaft situated inside of the jig, what else you would need to do is go ahead and load a vane or a feather inside of the clamp. So there's nothing to it. On the clamp, as you can see, there's little hash lines, so that way you can adjust how close to the nock or far away offset from the nock you want to start that vane. Generally, as a rule of thumb, you want to keep it about as close to the nock as you can. You know, short of it starting to make face contact. You don't want to have that face contact. I've seen that throw off the results of tuning bows, and as such, it's going to throw off your shot. So if you can avoid it, you want to move the vane up the clamp to a certain notch that you know it's not going to touch your face. So for right about there would be good for me. So that would probably be a good starting point if you're just, you know, unboxing your own. Alright. to tell you the truth, what I think that's going to be is 1.5 inches from the end of your knock. So, and then what you would do is there's the 2 magnetic strips, and you're going to clamp that right onto the flat side of the clamp. Is going to clamp on right to those magnets, and then you can just push that right down and it'll settle onto the arrow, and that's where you would be, you know, gluing that on. So that's how that works. The Bitzenburger Fletching Jig, I highly recommend it. Works really well. I've done many arrows with the Bitzenburger Fletching Jig, and I've come to like it. There's not a better one on the market in my opinion. You can buy those right at grizzlybeargear.com. I'd appreciate it if you did. If nothing else, drop a like, hit the subscribe button. I'll make those appear here in a second. And I thank you for your time and hope to see you in the next video. Have a great day, guys.